Oil Stream brought to you by Boston Pizza. Tommy, you'll be at a Boston Pizza tomorrow for this game, will you not?
Yes.
Where are you going to be headed?
Tomorrow is
Clairview.
Boston Pizza Clairview.
Clairview.
Can I just say,
Yes.
join me if you're downtown for Hello Hockey with Sean Bell.
Yeah.
At local Jasper Avenue. Reed Wilkins might be making an appearance.
Okay.
And
Lives
then
in the area, right?
Yeah, join me at Boston Pizza Clairview for the Oilers and Kraken.
Right after that.
Right after that, I'm gonna be hopping around. Hopefully the roads
busy
are
boy
okay.
flying around. Yeah, we'll have to see.
You know what? It's been a very busy month. Like we've been on the road for pre and post game quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a bit.
And the team has been on the road obviously a lot. But that's good. And honestly, whether it's Boston Pizza 170th, Hudson's White, or Boston Pizza Clairview, there's been a lot of people. Good contingent of nasties. I mean, the last BP Westgate was, I think we had 20 to 25 that showed up. And then every Clairview one has been really good. Great prizing available. The on location at Hudson's White was a really good night, despite the outcome of the game. We've been very fortunate. So I thank everybody for coming out.
Do it tomorrow for this game.
Yes.
Boston Pizza Clairview. You can dive into their holiday playlist, which features those matzo sticks that were like puffy and
they're very airy because it's the pizza dough.
Yeah,
that they turn into matzo sticks.
Oh yeah,
and then they dip it in the vodka sauce.
That was great. That was delicious.
Tony was all over me. He's like, "You're gonna have the penne vodka," and I'm like, "Tony, I've had it like 3 times in the last 2 weeks."
Calm down, Tony.
I'm like, Tony,
it's crushing the penne vodka. What more do you want? What more do you want, Tony? All right, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in on the oil stream today. Coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, and of course, all of Edmonton Sports Talk, including portions of this show, brought to you by our partners over at Play Alberta. And Tommy will have the odds check tomorrow.
Si, senor. Do you see I have a partner parlay named after me today? Tommy Ride.
I saw that. Congratulations on making the big time, buddy.
Well, I was working with the boys.
Yeah.
And I had a small contribution.
And then did you say Tommy Rides?
No.
Okay.
That was Jay's idea.
That's how it came up.
Jay's a glue guy. I was excited about contributing. I just went with over under. Maddie, like the over under for the football game, it was set at 42.5. And I'm like, we got to hit the over. But Maddie reduced it to 39.5. And then we still came out with everything, all the legs on it, still came out to plus 310. I think it got boosted.
Yeah.
It's
a good boost.
I put a big dump, as Jay calls it, on that one.
Is that what he refers to?
He goes, I start with the sprinkle, then I do a sprinkle with a tinkle, then there's a dump, and then a big dump when he talks about his
bets.
His betting lingo.
Okay.
Yes.
First I've heard. That's interesting.
I know. It's kind of, I'm like, are we hitting the 1s and 2s here? And he's like, yeah. Jay.
All right. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. This text is in from SJ Not in the Coonies and says, Jim Matheson hasn't been this fired up about goalies since his award-winning reporting on Dave Dryden versus Eddie Meal. Maddie's been I've been talking a lot lately about how I don't really want to be on Twitter. Maddie's getting just absolutely hammered on Twitter right now.
I know.
Which is,
listen, man.
So what did he say to Skinner? Basically said to Stu that the fans don't want you. They want a new goalie.
Yes, but listen, Maddie's my friend, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And I have nothing but respect.
You've known Maddie forever.
So people are obviously giving it to him for that tact and saying it like that. But I'll tell you this. If Maddie were to be given a one-on-one just to sit with Stu in the locker room by himself and have a conversation for his column or his article, and he approached it with that same verbiage to Stu in a one-on-one where they're discussing things, you're going to write a big piece, it would not be perceived the same way. He's trying to create a conversation, but because the situation is where you got Stu in a scrum and Batty just went at him like that right away to get his clips, it doesn't come across well at all. And I get it. I'm not defending it or anything like that, but I'm just saying, had that been a one-on-one where him and Stu sat down in the locker room and just had like a 5-minute conversation and he made that same comment, it wouldn't be perceived the same way.
Well, here's the other thing. Like, what I do have a little bit of a hard time with is people bitching about Matty going and telling Stu Skinner the fans want a new goalie. When all I see every day online is that the fans want a new goalie. Yes. I mean, what are we talking about here? Like, he's just passing along the message.
Yes.
That every single post game, even when Stu plays good, people are still like, he sucks and need a new goalie. So
thank you for articulating.
I'm just like, and Matty and I have had our differences. You're aware of those, as I have with some other guys in the media. Like, but I mean, I find it tough to be. This is why I'm getting so frustrated with Twitter. I find it tough to be on Twitter and see a bunch of people who are always on Twitter saying they need a new goalie, getting mad at Matty for going to Skinner and saying, "Hey, the fans think you need a new goalie." Because I mean,
Jim is seeing that too from the fan base. He reads it. He's very perceptive to what Oil Country is thinking collectively.
All of a sudden, everybody wants to defend Skinner after you've been bitching about him for 2 years.
It just sounds like people want to bitch.
Like, I just don't, that doesn't make sense to me. I mean,
you can't please them all. We know this is part of our
It's like when you tell somebody a secret, say, don't tell them.
And they go
like Stuart Skinner doesn't know that 75% of fans want a new goalie here right away. Like
Hernan and Matty.
It's not like Matty broke the news to Skinner and Skinner was like, what?
Yeah. I mean, and
they want a new goalie here? It was a tough spot for Skinner to be put in.
Right.
For sure. I probably would have gone about it in a different fashion. But I don't know. I just find it weird that like people want to rip everybody on Twitter for everything right now with the way the team's played. Yes. And I just think they're taking advantage of that. And Matty throws some barbs on Twitter too.
Yes.
That he deserves some of the heat that he gets. But I think in this situation, it's like, sorry, he's passing along your message. You want a new goalie. I mean, what are we doing here?
Good point. And again, in yesteryear, and it wasn't that long ago, COVID really changed how we get access.
The whole access to everybody, right?
You would have had the PR team be like, okay, Stu, this is an example. Stu, when you finish your scrum, which is usually like 5 minutes, can you please do a couple minutes with Jim? And then they have that conversation. And Jim, again, hypothetically, could make a comment like that to get a thought from Stu, and it would not be a thing because it's not in front of cameras and the microphones. It would just be a one-on-one conversation. So, when you come from doing it like that for so long, then all of a sudden it's changed in the last 5 years, and you go at them, and your tactic is still the same as it was for 50 years of your professional career. It doesn't go over well. So anyway, it's just, I'm not mad at Jim. It's just that I'm just
and he shouldn't be getting. He's not getting away scot-free. Like he wants to get heat for it. He'll get heat for it. He's getting shredded. But it's not like he's making up a lie and telling. It's not like he's making up a lie to Stuart Skinner and saying,
"No,
hey, the fans don't want you here." Like you don't. So it's Could he have done it better? Sure. Does he need to drive so many points on Twitter sometimes? Probably not. But yeah,
I mean, Twitter's evolving social media platform. Quite frankly, and I said this to you earlier today, I think its use is changing and has changed. And if you really want to get good stuff out, it might not be the first go-to. Like, it's news and information is what you replied with. And yes, that's where it's most useful. But there's a lot of stupidity on there, like there is on most social media.
Berta Don over on YouTube this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hammer the thumbs up. Berta Don says, we want management to hear the message, not Skinner himself, LMAO. Matty should be saying those things to management. And if he can't, ask a real question. Look, here's the thing. Management knows that everybody wants a goalie.
Yeah.
I don't know why you need to see Stan Bowman go, yeah, we're in the market for a goalie to give, like, you don't think that the Oilers are going down the goaltending path right now?
They are.
They don't need a member of the media to ask them. Like, they watch the games too, and they're not going to come out and trash their goalie in the media, because why would you do that if he's still your goalie? That would make no sense. But they're looking
publicly devaluing your guys.
Yeah, like that doesn't make any sense. There's a reason that management usually, outside of very unique spots, usually doesn't trash their players in the media. And there's not a lot of access to many of these guys anymore either. Even the Skinner thing. Like Tommy said, like a long time ago, you would have come into the room, like back at the old place when I used to go down there quite a bit. You come into the room, a bunch of guys sitting around, you pull a guy aside, say, hey man, I chat with you for 3-4 minutes. And then now it's just all scrums. It's, outside the guys who cover the team on a day-to-day basis, it's kind of useless being down there. Like, unless you're doing a pre and post game, like it's completely different. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of a weird spot for everybody to be in.
I'll say one more thing to Berta Don. Matty would say that to management, honestly.
Well, Matty has no kind of filter sometimes.
Well,
right?
I mean, he's been around the game. He's been covering the Oilers since their existence in the WHA since 1972. If anyone in the room now is going to say something like that to management, it would be Jim. Because Jim has been there, done that, doesn't care. He wants to write
that's the thing, he doesn't care.
People. He wants to get his story out and write it, and he'll just be like, you know what? I'll say that to Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman, and I'd put money on him firing that same line he did to Stu to anybody, even the owner, if the owner actually showed up and did an interview.
All right, so speaking of the goaltending situation and the search and all this stuff, the Oilers Live guys last evening tweeted, this is Michael from Oilers Live, tweeted, this is what I'm hearing. Edmonton would get Jari and Wotherspoon. Pittsburgh would get Skinner, Janmark, and picks. Oilers would move Kulak to free up room with Nuge coming back. Should be happening soon. It's a pretty bold take. It's pretty bold. Like, follow your sources. Now, I will say the Oilers Live guys have hit things in the past. It's not like they've never broken anything. They have got some stuff in the past. So I think that's why this has been viewed 540,000 times.
That's it?
Yeah. But I don't know. What, did you check in? What are you hearing on the latest on this search for a goaltender?
I checked in today within the last hour and said any legs to goalie stuff. I was just told from someone within the organization that would know and is in the room. Lots of talk, nothing pending by any means. Obviously, it's being looked at. And then I said, what about things getting close? Is there any runway left for Stu and Calvin? Nothing is done. Anything possible.
All right, so they're talking.
As they should be.
Right? So they're talking. Nothing pending. But it might start heating up here. Like,
I mean, the temperature, unlike our offices, has certainly been cranked up significantly.
Our office did get cranked up today. I cranked up to 21 and a half.
That's significant.
What more do you want, Tommy?
I'm just getting in on the fun.
Are you okay with 21 and a half?
I'm very comfortable right now.
Okay, and what's that? I think Maddie turned it back down. So Wannick turned it back. I'm going to see what it's at right now anyway. I'm going to see.
I'm not even mad. I'm just saying. I'm not wearing a parka in the studio, unlike others. Anyway, so that's just the latest update from within the organization.
It's back set to 20 and a half, which is what it was at this morning when I came in.
I mean,
I moved it up to 21 and a half because Dennis at Weiss Johnson said it's usually when they install a furnace at a business, they go 21 to 22.
I think
Eric and Trevor wearing their winter coats and toques, trying to be funny guys. So I moved it up to 20 and a half. Since then, somebody's come in and moved it back down to 20 and a half. What can I do?
I think 21 is just a happy medium. Just saying. Doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with that.
21 would be fine.
21 on the nose.
On the nose. Anyway, I'm very comfortable today. I'm wearing this flannel shirt thing. It's very warm.
Yeah, you do look warm.
I'm warm.
I'm wearing a hoodie. I feel just fine. I was wearing a t-shirt on the morning show. Wearing a hoodie in the afternoon. What are you going to do here? Okay, let me say this, Tommy. If you were a betting man, and if we could get a line on this over at Play Alberta, we probably would. January 1st is Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard, the two goaltenders on the Edmonton Oilers.
January 1st.
Would you still lean yes? I think I'm still leaning yes. Once again, no insight on anything. I'm just thinking do they actually pull the trigger on something right now? Do they feel that they have? Look, do they feel for example, just the rumored Penguins thing? What is it? Tristan Jarry and Wotherspoon for Skinner and Janmark and picks. If they have to move Kulak to free up room, I know Kulak hasn't been good this year, but I don't necessarily like that.
No.
Now, Wotherspoon's a lefty. He's had a pretty good season so far, so I guess you're replacing him essentially with him. But, what are the picks? Like how much
I
else
don't
are you
know.
giving up here? So is this something that they're going to pull the trigger on to shock the team?
I think.
Which I think we all kind of agree they need some sort of shocking.
Well, I mean, they wake up at least some. I mean, can they? The other thing I was told a few days ago too, after the loss, I asked like, what's the vibe around everyone within hockey ops and the team, and workmanlike was the word that was used. And then the follow up was, we know the answer is in the room. So I don't know, man. Like if they put a couple of wins together, which they struggle to do, and it cools things off, then yes, I could see Stu Skinner still being the Oilers goaltender January 1st.
What say you? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Let's get to your Popeyes spicy headlines. If you're looking for something for lunch today, Popeyes is where you can get it. 3-piece bone-in chicken, just $8. 3 pieces, big, fat, juicy bone-in chicken, just $8. Here's some notes from practice today. Roslovic will be a couple of weeks. Knobloch is not anticipating a return anytime soon.
That's not good.
That sucks. Like I'd love to see this team with Hyman, with Nuge, with Roslovic.
Yeah.
But Roslovic apparently will be a couple of weeks. When Knobloch says a couple of weeks and says
It's always worse.
not anticipating a return anytime soon, to me that's like post-Christmas.
Yep.
I mean, if they're saying a couple of weeks and he's saying not anytime soon, with Knobloch 2 weeks has been 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well,
So-
like Hernan made the joke when they announced someone was out a week. I think it was Wallman's. He's like, he won't be ready for a month.
So that sucks.
He's not playing on a Saturday, that's for sure. We know that.
Kapanen may be several weeks. Team waiting for more information on his injury. Wallman will not play on Saturday. Possibly a return next week, and no starter revealed for Saturday as well. Who would you go with between the pipes?
I thought Pickard should have played last Saturday anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought they were going to give Pickard the net on Saturday
against
too.
Florida,
They did.
but then Stu played good against Florida.
Well, I also get I understand the idea of giving Skinner the Panthers as like, and he played well. I mean, he's the better of the goalies in that game,
absolutely.
so that one worked out okay.
I'd go to Pickard tomorrow.
What do you think Knobloch will do though?
Go to Skinner.
So, what's the schedule look like next week?
It's busier. I mean, this was kind of
busier.
interesting.
They're coming home. They're going to get into this. Was a weird little lull.
First quiet week in a while.
Yeah. So what are they looking at
Next
schedule-wise
week.
next week?
Back to busy every second day. Tuesday at home to Minnie. Thursday at home to Seattle.
That's two Tales of the North on the Nielsen show.
Let's go. Saturday at home to Winnipeg. Then you get a 2-day gap, Sunday, Monday. Next Tuesday, the 9th. So the following Tuesday, the 9th, at home to Buffalo. We'll see if they get
that's
their
an interesting
redemption.
one, yeah.
And then the Thursday at home to Detroit. So we have a 5-gamer coming up
Five
at
games at home and then 5 out east again.
Yeah. And then basically more than half the road schedule is complete. That's good, I guess. They've been better at home.
I think they might go Pickard on. Well, I guess
I think
they
Pickard
both
tomorrow.
played last game, so
I mean, 4 goals on 8 shots is pretty crappy.
yeah.
That was
Not that Pickard was lights out when he came in
No,
either,
he
but
wasn't either.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see them going with Pickard. I mean, it might not matter in the end. Neither of them been playing well.
His last start was excellent.
Yeah, last start was good. AJ and Speedy Creek texts in today and says it's asinine to think that Tristan Jarry is the answer behind this defense.
Good point about the defense and the team's defending.
Well, I think Pittsburgh was a train wreck defensively last year as well. Which
How was Jarry's numbers last year?
They were
He got
awful.
sent down, didn't he?
They were awful. He got sent down. He was on waivers. Like he cleared Tristan Jarry. This is the kind of the scary part.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been here to the point now where I'm like, any different look between the pipes, I'm probably kind of for it at this point. But Tristan Jarry is a guy that at the contract that he was at, nobody wanted for free last year.
Yeah.
And now you're going to move some things to get him and give us some picks to get like that's it's a little strange. It's like with the Wallman thing when Detroit's like paying San Jose to take Wallman from them.
Right.
And now the others have given him $49 million.
And he plays half the games. he's
and he's fallen off a bit recently.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't been good recently. So I don't know. Like that part, I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as saying asinine to Jari, but the whole, if you look at the last 12 months of this player's career, it's like
up, down,
it's tough.
up, down. Here's something I would counter with to you, Dusty, because I'm curious to know your thoughts. Is it to the point with Stu where it's just over and it ain't going to get better here? There's no fix here because, and Gager, I go to Gager on like his goalie instincts, obviously way better than anybody else's.
And Gager was a big pro Skinner guy for a few years here.
And he brought up the broken thing again yesterday. And is it to the point where it isn't going to be fixed? It can't be fixed. It's just beyond that. And it's time to, is it there? That's what I'm asking. Is it beyond fixing with him? Can it be repaired? Can the confidence truly be rebuilt and the faith in him truly be brought back? The faith thing, I think, is out the window. But Skinner
in the
himself,
fan base.
Yeah, exactly.
From a team perspective, we don't know and nobody knows.
If you put together a few games and win a few games, I think you start to get guys back.
I wish it wasn't.
Same.
I think it might be, but I almost don't want it to be because it just gives a free pass to all these other guys who've been playing like horse shit defensively. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's not like they're sitting there and we're going, man, the Oilers aren't giving up any chances and Skinner's getting beat from way out. That's not what's happening here. Nice. How many times this year, and every goal here is debated because this market's insane, and I we love it. That's why Edmonton Sports Talk can exist. People are very passionate. They're fanatics. That's what this is. But how many times have you seen Skinner get beaten from 25, 30 feet out, and you're like, damn, that was a weak goal. Like we debate every goal, and everybody thinks he should stop every goal. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these goals this year, like, man, this dude had no chance. And sometimes it's because he puts himself in such a bad spot that he has no chance.
Sure.
Those aren't ideal. You can hang those on him. To me, it's just like a lot of this group has been here and the problems all the time was goalie or coach, goalie or coach, goalie or coach. And they've just done the coach and the coach has got an extension. So now it's the goalie, right? Before it was like the goalies, it's not the coach, it's the goalie. It's always just the same two things. And maybe the rest of the team in general is not as important as we think if it's just goalie and coaching all the time. So I think it's probably got to the point where you can't salvage it, which kind of sucks. But I also think it's just a free pass. Like if Darnell Nurse and Kulak, who's been good usually, but he hasn't been good this year. And if Bouchard only wants to try to continue to get out of the way of pucks and to not engage anybody in front of the net, and he's been their best defenseman this year, if that continues, it doesn't matter who's between the pipes. You go bring in Tristan Jarry, and Tristan Jarry has to play behind this defense, you're going to want him traded in 2 months. So,
2 weeks ago,
tough. It's a tough spot.
2 weeks ago, Cam Talbot was the hot item. Cam Talbot. It might be too far gone.
What say you? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
I'll go to Rip City Step in the nasty chat. Rip saying, any goalie solution this season is just moving deck chairs around.
He's probably not wrong.
I'm agreeing. That's why I think this is a good text from Rip. You're not going to get an elite guy, but maybe you get lucky and a guy gets hot and stabilizes this season. But that and Rip City Step is fair because like it might stabilize this season. But what is it long term? You could be in the same predicament. Even
with goaltending stabilized this season. And the level of stabilization is what? Right now, 890 is an improvement.
Yeah.
Right? They're at the bottom of the group, but they're also hemorrhaging chances. So, like, when you look at it from that perspective, are we talking Band-Aid goaltender for this year? Because because the last thing they want to do is screw up their cap space this offseason.
And they have a lot to play with.
The future of Connor, and this isn't even an overstatement, I don't think. It might sound like a bold take, but the future of Connor McDavid with your franchise likely hinges on how you spend your money this offseason. Right? That doesn't sound crazy to me.
No, it does not.
If they go out and piss away the cap space that they're finally going to have, McDavid's adios, see you later. I gave you a few extra years. You blew it again. I'm out of here. And nobody's going to blame him.
No, but hang on. He's part of the problem this year.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I know he's putting up points.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you're creating this problem, it would be the easy way out to just leave and say, like, you screwed it up. But
not after 13 years, though, man.
I think, I think for a guy like him, he would want to be part of the solution. That's just my personal take. But I understand where you're coming from. That would give the easy out, reason-wise, to be like, well, I gave you cap space and we did nothing with it. And we still aren't getting the job done. Bye-bye.
And they're going to spend...
I don't think that's going to happen, but...
They're going to spend right up to the cap in the offseason. And going into next year, it'll be, they've changed things, but they're still right up against the cap. Mm-hmm. And then it'll be money in, money out at next year's trade deadline. And the guys who are coming in probably aren't going to be on one-year deals. So then they're going to be locked in for 2 or 3 years. And if you don't hit on those guys, it's Leon Draisaitl and everybody else for the next 8 years. And maybe it's McDavid somewhere else.
What would be wonderful is if they didn't spend right up to the cap and gave themselves a little bit of buffer, not just 1 million, maybe a couple million. You spend properly, you make a couple of wily moves, put yourself into a good spot. This team has not been in a good cap position in years. I don't know if...
That's why they have to take advantage of this.
Maybe in 10 years, because I remember when they started buying guys out, and they were smaller buyouts, right? You had Andre Sekera, you had Eric Graba, for crying out loud. People were clamoring for them to get rid of Benoit Pouliot. Those were the Pouliot one and the Graba one, to be honest with you, kind of mistakes. You could have even kept Andre Sekera as a depth defenseman. Those are bad moves, ultimately. You could have let them play. Like, I think Pouliot was still a useful third or fourth liner. Yes, $5 million or $4 million was a crappy price to pay for it, but he was better than Jujar Khaira and Anton Slepyshev and Drake Caggiula. Those were not suitable replacements, as we saw. And the Oilers have had dead cap space dogging them for almost a decade now. It would be nice if they finally put themselves into a position where they didn't have dead cap space. Guess what? We have a couple more years of Jack Campbell, don't we? Right? James Neal was another one. They should have bought out Mikko Koskinen, but they went with James Neal. Anyway, they have put themselves, and it's been multiple GMs, into a situation where they're dealing with dead cap space. Vegas doesn't do that, do they? They also don't draft their players most often. Times they use draft picks as
the Oilers don't draft their players either.
That has become a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just saying, like,
nobody really. Like, contenders usually move their picks. That's how it works.
Yeah. But the buyouts have been bad. Have hindered them. They've basically been in dilemmas cap wise for 7-8 years now. I remember when they couldn't even dress a full lineup because of cap issues.
That was last year, Tommy.
Yes, and the year prior to that, like on day one of the season. That is not good. And it's not. And people go, Bill Scott, they need a better cap guy. No, Bill Scott has to deal with the cap.
He's trying to do
by the dilemmas that are given to him. Be like, Bill, how can we work this out? I'm going to sign this guy. Can you make the numbers work? Well, Peter. Well, Kenny. Well, Stan and Jeff, here's how we can do it. We're going to have to scrimp day in, day out. We're going to have to be very, very limber and on our toes every single day, but I can give you this. And it's not the cap guy. It's the guys above him going to the cap guy and giving him a poop sandwich every single year.
Classic poop sandwich.
I want to say the S word, but I already used up my one for today.
Just speaking of Bill, I met his dad.
Great guy.
When I was out at I was in Hamilton, so CFL East final.
He was an agent.
Yeah. a very popular agent back in the day.
Gil Scott.
Yeah. So he was Dwayne Ford's agent when Fordy played in the CFL.
Yeah.
And I'm prepping for the game in Hamilton. And he comes in, he goes, "Hey, Dusty, this is Gil Scott. He wants to meet you." I was just like, "Oh, awesome. Thanks." And then I coached his grandson, Bill's kid, when Elizabeth started playing hockey. And it's Gil, Bill, and Will. And I shout out to that family for going from Gil to Bill to Will. I think those are brilliant names. I love it.
Very nice people. It is a wonderful family and very sharp minds in the sporting world in different respects.
Yeah, this comes like Bill's not in a position where he'd be overly criticized anyway, but I'll just get it out there right now. I don't think I'll ever say a bad thing about Bill Scott. He's such a nice dude.
Correct.
I don't think I could ever be like, fire that guy. I just couldn't do it.
He was a great hire from day one. He was built for hockey management. And obviously with his dad and what he did as an agent in the sporting world, because I think Gil had some hockey players too.
Yeah, he did have some hockey players.
And
he's got hockey coaches now.
Right.
Actually, he's got Knobloch.
Smart.
He's Knobloch's.
Bill, I met in 2010 when he took over as GM of Oklahoma City. And the guy you met back then,
he must have been young back then.
He was a very young.
Yeah.
And he was already working for the league prior to that.
Yeah.
He was with Michigan State. He was with Ryan Miller at Michigan State. I think they were national champions early 2000s. And so like there's a reason why the organization has kept him around for so long. He's just very good at what he does. And a great guy, like you said.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We've got EST Afternoons coming up in about 25 minutes. That'll be followed by the Reed Wilkins show as well. Ian the Boomer over on the YouTube chat says, could they not give Connor Ingram a shot first?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think I said that about 3 weeks ago. I feel like that's the first step.
Yes.
In the, okay, we have nobody.
Yes.
Go trade for someone.
Right. And that's why you went and traded for Ingram. Remember, people, go get him. And then they didn't.
People were very hot and horny for Ingram.
They did not pick him up on waivers, and then they made the trade, and they got
which was a clever piece of business. With the retaining and stuff. I get that.
So he still hasn't played since that last game. Here's your Ingram update.
Yes.
Still at 7 games played so far. 2-3-2 record, 361 goals against average, 871 save percent.
871? Call him up. He fit right in with this group. What I would say is that this guy's played 100 games in the National Hockey League. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's when would you get a look at Ingram?
Well, I mean, again, it has to get to a critical point with Stu and Calvin, right?
Got to be getting close to at least the Ingram look.
Yeah, I think that's the first step.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends where he's at and where his mind is at,
that's
how
the
his
thing,
game
right? That's
is
most
going.
Important.
The numbers don't really give you a lot of confidence right now.
But he has played in the NHL, right?
Right, and you have to. You went and got him for a reason.
They got him for this reason.
Yes.
Right. This is why they would have brought this guy in.
This scenario that you planned for has presented itself. Give him a shot. It's crappy that he might not be there, at least by looking at the numbers and listening to the reports on him. But at least give him a shot before you go and make a big type move and risk losing some key pieces that you might actually want to hang on to, a.k.a. a Brett Kulak, perhaps. That's a hypothetical.
Yeah, Kulak's name sort of randomly being thrown around out there.
He's always chucked in there because people think he's an afterthought.
Wherever he goes, man. Kulak's had a tough start to this year, but you've done post game. I mean, for years now.
Yeah.
The last 2 years here at Edmonton Sports Talk. How often over the last 2 years did anybody say a bad thing about Kulak after a game?
Sometimes, but very rarely.
Yeah, and this year's been different.
And it's an outlier usually. But this year's been different.
I think Kulak's one of the guys I believe most in kind of finding his game again. All of a sudden, he just got washed in the offseason?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, he's been paired up with essentially rookies and young NHL D-men all season long. Regula, Emberson. Right? Emberson's 100 games into his career. Regula's 35 games into his career. That's tough. Stetcher at times. Stetcher was not having a good go, like many other Oilers defensemen when he was here.
Maybe you need to say it, Tommy. Maybe they got to go back a couple of years and bring back Cody Ceci.
I will not.
Veteran right pair guy.
Although he was good for the room. No, his numbers weren't great, but he was pretty steady. Has he regressed? Yeah, probably. He's getting older. But he's an NHL defenseman for the time being.
I think if they trade Kulak, they miss Kulak immediately.
Yep.
So that's a spot where, I mean, I'm pretty open to a lot of different things. And I know he hasn't had a good year, but I think that's a guy that you probably want to stick around. Because sometimes you could, sometimes you could almost instantly regret trading a guy. And that will bring us to the Play Alberta numbers game. Edmonton Sports Talk brought to you by Play Alberta. I just got one man written down right here just because they're about to get another dose of Seattle. You want to rehash the Jordan Eberle stuff for fun today? And how they turned Jordan Eberle into Ryan Spooner?
Can I can give some background. I have a good story about that.
Go back to that? Yeah.
I have some good stories about that. Yes, bring it up.
Yeah, well, so since the Oilers traded Eberle, and he had his first ever trip to the playoffs, he had 0 goals in 13 games. And that was the end of him.
Yeah.
Right? He was gone right away, went to the Islanders. I didn't hate, Strome kind of was like, okay, this sort of makes sense.
Strome's still a good player.
And then Chiarelli with the all-time stupidest move you probably ever seen anybody make outside of other Chiarelli moves. Trading him for Spooner, who was out of the league at the end of the year. It was just, he should have been fired on the spot. But anyway, so Jordan Eberle, let's go back to that time, right? And we were all criticizing him during the playoffs, right? Didn't seem to really physically engage, didn't score. They end up losing in that series of the Ducks, which still obviously sits poorly with many of you. But yeah, that process of him getting traded. Was that at a draft when that went down?
Mm-hmm.
Was that in Dallas? He get traded
No,
in Dallas?
it was in Chicago, I believe. Because Strome was there because his brother was getting drafted. And we actually had a chance to talk to him, if I'm not mistaken. I liked Ryan Strome. He is a very funny guy. Really down to earth. I enjoyed his brief time with the Oilers. I thought he was a great guy. And I thought he was a useful player. Remember, he was supposed to play with McDavid and it only lasted like a game or two?
Oh, yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was very limited.
He scored 2 goals in a preseason game. And I was like, oh, yeah, there you go. Like, this is what we're talking about.
That sounds oddly
And
familiar.
then he got like a game and a half, and they never put him back with McDavid, like ever again. It was bizarre.
They had him down centering the third line.
Did not make sense to me.
Okay, do you want to rehash it?
Yeah,
I have a story.
Okay.
So they were trying to move Eberle during that season, 16-17.
Before the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay.
We were in Phoenix, and in between the locker rooms, there's like a club area that fans can sit in. And it's usually open, and the Coyotes would go in. They would have their meal there. So, but it was just open. So myself and Chris Westcott, we went and sat in there, and we're just waiting for the team to get on the ice, the Oilers to get on the ice, because we were a little bit early. And it's a big lounge area. And Peter walked in. He was on the phone, and he was talking to somebody about a potential deal. And he's like, "Well, we would move Jordan for this guy. We need to get bigger, stronger on the wing. So I'm willing to part with Eberle." I'm paraphrasing.
We don't know who that guy was.
Don't know who the guy was.
Right.
Yeah, but
I'm intrigued.
I was just like, oh crap. I was like, that's good to know, but I don't. And Peter didn't see us. He was kind of dialed in. Sorry for the pun, on the phone. And I looked at Westcott. I'm like, like that might be bad news for Ebs.
Yeah.
And they had already moved on from Taylor. And so, sure enough, they go through the playoff round. It's after the season. Jordan was still kicking around town, and I ran into him at the Pint. And we were in the back room for some beverages.
Yes.
And him and I sat and we chatted. He's like, "Do you think I'm getting traded?" I was like, Heb's like, I heard Peter wheeling and dealing you in Phoenix when we were there, like mid-season. He goes, come on, man. And I'm like, I've known you since you've been here. We get along really well. Like, I think they're going to move you. Like, take that with a grain of salt. It's just me saying it, right? I'm not an insider. At the time, I didn't dial into that side of the thing of the game. Now I
you were covering the team then. It was different.
Yeah, I was a team guy. And I was like, and I told him that story, and he's like, I don't want to get traded, man. I like it here. My wife likes it here. Starting our family. And I'm like, I don't like it either. Like, I have a good relationship with you. And sure enough, at the draft, they shipped him off to the Islanders for Strome. And we had a bunch of beers that night. And I went, I felt so bad too. I'm like, man, he's asking me? And I was just a team guy, right?
Yeah.
And when I told him that we heard that conversation in like January or February, he was like disappointed. So anyway,
he's on pace. What's 8 goals in 23 games?
Better than whatever Trent Frederic's
here in
doing.
Edmonton, we call that really good. What's he on pace for this year? 8 by 23, 82. Eberle's on a 28 goal pace right now for a Seattle team that doesn't score goals. They're the lowest scoring team in the conference.
Not bad for a guy in his mid-30s.
Well, and this is what I wanted to ask you. This is why I was going to make it the numbers game. Like, is Jordan Eberle, if he's still in Oilers, he's still burying 20?
Yeah.
Right? He'd still to this day still be
productive winger.
He'd still be a winger that they could slot in. He'd probably score 20 goals if you give him a little bit of power play time.
Would you rather have him over Andrew Mangiapane right now? Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true.
Would you rather have him over Kasperi Kapanen? Yes. And as good as Roslovic has been, as an Oiler, okay, not just like a hired gun, mercenary, hungry for his next deal, would you have more reassurance in having Jordan Eberle on the team? I might even argue yes, than Roslovic. We'll see what happens with Roslovic. Maybe he gets that extension. Maybe he sustains his high level of play. Crappy injury. That sucks because he was helping the team, one of the few guys. But I'm just saying, like, Jordan Eberle embraced being an Edmonton Oiler.
He's been gone now longer than he was here. Yep. Which makes me feel really old. But he's in his 9th season away from Edmonton after playing 7 seasons with Edmonton. And he was an automatic 20 goals. He had 34 his second year, the best year of his career, 76 points, just almost a point per game guy that year, was a plus player on the team that season. But yeah, it's good to see for him that he's still going and contributing in pretty impressive fashion.
He's a smart hockey player, man.
Still scoring goals.
Maverick, 1979. Tommy has loose lips. Maverick, it's been like 9 years, like Dusty just said. You don't like story time?
Eberle right now is tied for the team lead in goals on the Kraken with Jaden Schwartz. So a couple of veteran guys.
Good players.
Pacing the Kraken. I pointed it out earlier today as we continue with the numbers game. Seattle doesn't score much. Seattle doesn't allow much. The Oilers have played 2 more games. Were you listening this morning when I did this trivia?
No, I missed this.
The Oilers have played 2 more games than Seattle this season.
Okay.
How many more goals do you think they've allowed?
Than Seattle?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they played 2 more games. Keep that in mind. They have played 2 more games.
25.
33.
That's pathetic. Much like some of the results this season.
They have allowed 33 more goals in 2 more games. Now they've scored like 20-something more. So Seattle, I'd like tomorrow. Wouldn't it be nice to see? So Seattle's a low-scoring team. Wouldn't it be nice to see the Oilers sort of bear down defensively tomorrow and only allow a goal or maybe 2?
Yes.
And not everybody on your post-game show tomorrow from Boston Pizza and Clairview, not everybody has to be bitching about the defense of the goaltending. Like, this is a team, like, you shouldn't give up 4 or 5 goals to the Seattle Kraken tomorrow, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, that's just unacceptable. There's no way.
Chief Andy, I get ignored by Tommy and Dusty because I'm already living rent-free in their minds. Nope.
Why? What's he saying?
I don't know. Who knows? Nice to have you back, Chief Andy.
Yeah, hi, Chief Andy. I thought you quit on us.
Welcome back.
Thanks, man. Thanks for being here.
I don't think of you very often, to be honest.
Tell your friends. Haji texts in and says, it's almost like Chiarelli wasn't a very good GM.
Touche.
Yeah, if Connor McDavid moves on or even finishes his career here, but doesn't have a Stanley Cup, and you have to say, who's that on? I swear to God, man, my answer will always be Peter Chiarelli.
Yeah.
Completely blowing it over that stretch and setting the organization back when it looked like it was heading in the right direction.
Kenny Holland cleaned it up. Was it perfect? Definitely not.
Yeah, and to be determined still with this group.
Stan and Jeff, yeah.
Yeah.
That was right at a crucial point where, 17, 18, 18, 19 happened, and getting rid of Pat Maroon, jeez. Hendo was great, but he was too old. Some of those trades, like the Brandon Manning trade, you want to talk about poisoning the room? And Connor had to come out and say, "Oh, we got over it. I talked to Peter."
Idiot.
Terrible. Putting Alex Petrovic into a terrible situation, almost ruining his career. Brutal. Who else did they bring? Oh, Spooner was terrible. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Putting too much on the young guys, putting too much on Matt Benning, Jujar, Drake Kajula, Anton Slepish. They just weren't ready to take that next step as veteran NHLers. They were still very young in their careers, and that was bad.
Ice256 says goalies ain't good enough to allow one or two. Sorry, man. Except,
Sure.
No, they allowed 2 against Tampa 2 games ago.
And
3
they
games
only got
ago.
a goal, yeah.
Right? So, it can happen if the team plays well in front of them and they just haven't. End of story.
Yeah.
This is why they are where they're at. And maybe it should be encouraging for people moving forward for the rest of the season. Their goaltending hasn't been good and their team defense sucks.
Touche.
Right?
Yes.
That's why they've
fair.
won 5 of 25 games in regulation. You even get one element of that sorted out. If they start playing better defensively, the goaltending will look better. Might not in your mind be better, but it'll look better. And if the goalies start stealing one or making some big saves along the way, all of a sudden the defense doesn't look as shoddy as it is.
Yeah.
You need one of those two. You need one of those two things to happen. And then you're going to be in the playoffs and everything will be fine. You're not going to win the Stanley Cup, but one of those two things happen. You're a playoff team and see what happens when you get there.
Maverick says Jared Smithson was the key. Well, that was Steve Tambolini
That was Tambo.
special.
What other big moves did Tambolini make? What did Tambolini do? What exactly was it that Tambolini did here?
Very conservative.
That was the criticism for him.
Very true. He
But
had
what
to be
moves
pushed
did he
to make
make?
moves.
I need the Steve Tambolini trade file. Where's that at?
I think they had a deal for Hartnell in place, and he walked away from it. There was a couple of other ones. Yeah, just very tentative. Nice guy.
How long was he? Here are Steve Tambolini. Trades by Steve Tambolini. I'll give them all to you. Well, maybe not all of them. We don't have a lot of time, but I might be able to get through them. All right. So his first move was he traded Matthew Guerin for Saber and Stone in a 4th round pick.
That was Ryan Stone.
Ryan Stone.
Yeah.
Picked up Kodalik along the way. Got Patrick O'Sullivan in that Eric Cole deal. A couple of different picks. Let's get to the other page. Traded away Grebishkov for a 2nd round pick. Drafted Curtis Hamilton.
Mac T got Grebishkov back. It's all good.
Traded Whitney for Wisnowski.
That had to happen.
Yeah, that was that one had to go.
Yeah.
Time for Whitney to move on there.
It was player unhappy, team unhappy.
Traded Steve Stais to the Flames.
That was weird.
That was a weird one. Picked up Colin Fraser.
That didn't work.
Traded
out.
Riley
Great guy.
Nash for a 2nd round pick. Drafted Marty Marinson. Acquired Patrick O'Sullivan for Jim Van. Oh no, traded O'Sullivan for Vandermeer.
Good guy. Tough as hell.
Here's a good one. I like this one. Traded Sean Bell for Kevin Montgomery.
Kevin Montgomery. I think he never got into a game with the Oilers. Great AHL defenseman, I believe.
Traded Dustin Penner to the Kings for Colton Tubert. And a 1st round pick that became Clefbaum.
That worked out okay.
Traded Colin Fraser in a 7th for Smitty.
Yeah, that was good.
Curtis Foster for Andy Sutton.
That was okay.
Traded Cogliano for a second-round pick.
That was not good.
Gilbert for Nick Schultz.
That was okay. Nick Schultz is a great guy. Decent defenseman.
Brought in Fistrick for a pick. Brought in Mike Brown for a pick.
Mark told me that he almost had an extension here, and then they pulled it.
Really?
Yeah. That happened with Brandon Davidson, too. They had an extension ready, and they pulled it.
And then April 3rd, 2013, his final trade as a member of the Edmonton Oilers general manager group, Jared Smithson.
I stand by in that clip on Oil Change, he called him Jeremy and not Jared.
Really?
Yeah. Like, did he say Jeremy to Jared Smithson?
Maybe his nickname was Jerry? He's like, oh, Jerry?
Maybe he just kind of mumbled it and the mics didn't pick it up
That's
clear.
what he did?
I don't know. Did he call him Jerry? I remember there were players that were quite unimpressed with that deadline performance from the hockey ops department.
I'm going to ask you this every Friday show until something happens, but by Monday, will the Edmonton Oilers have a different goalie?
By Monday? No.
All right.
That's just my hunch. Just no.
Well,
from what I was told earlier.
We'll see how that one plays out. What's coming up on EST Afternoons, buddy?
Oh, boy. We got tons of stuff coming up, of course. Gager and Hernan will dive into all the injury updates and news surrounding the Oilers, previewing tomorrow's game. Derek Van Diest from NHL.com will check in as well. Zach to the Future at 1:40, and they'll also preview the F1 GP in Qatar.
That's right. So there's a lot coming up. So EST Afternoons is on the way next. If you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you stick around for that, and that'll lead into the Reed Wilkins Show today from 3 until 6. Tommy, where can people join you tomorrow?
Boston Pizza Clairview for the pre- and post-game show. Always great prizes at BP Clairview. Jason and Lisa do a phenomenal job. Oilers tickets generally up for grabs.
Oh,
at least one or two pairs per time we're on live at BP Clairview.
All right, so yeah, free tickets tomorrow. Go to Boston Pizza Clairview. Have a good time. Have some good food. Possibly win yourself tickets to an upcoming game. That sounds like a good time. All right, that's going to do it for the Oil Stream today. I'll be back on Monday, breaking down the weekend on the Nielsen Show, bright and early at 6 o'clock on 95.7 Cruise FM and all of our other platforms as well. For Tom Gazzola, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Have a great weekend, everybody. Drive safely. Take it easy.